I forgot the briquettes. I don't know what is happening. I'm just winging it. That doesn't look that good. Good morning. I'm starting my day off by making some cookie dough. So Nick and I are planning to head out on a little camping trip. We're gonna go out for 2 nights and leave this afternoon. So today I am doing just a lot of the meal prep, getting all of our gear ready to go and all that good stuff. And I thought I would take you along for sort of the realistic at-home prep side of all the camping stuff. And since I love dessert and I love cooking with my Dutch oven, I'm going to make a variation of my Dutch oven chocolate chip cookies. So this is just kind of a new version that I'm testing. And I'm making the cookie dough right now. I did brown butter and then I mixed the sugars into that, and now I'm adding the egg. Got some homemade vanilla extract. I love Dutch oven cookies because pretty much all the prep is done at home. So it's just such an easy Dutch oven dessert because I just store the cookie dough in the cooler and then just press it right into the Dutch oven. I have some mixed nuts. Gonna do some raisins. I will link to my classic Dutch oven chocolate chip cookie recipe in the description below. That one's on the blog, so you can download it. About a half a cup of raisins. Cookie dough is prepped. I'm just gonna put this in the fridge. And I also cooked some bacon this morning for tonight's dinner, which I'll explain later because I gotta run to the grocery store, get the last few ingredients for our meals that I'm planning, and then come back and prep the rest. So now it is quite a bit later and we're actually gonna start to pack the car. So I'm putting all the stuff that doesn't need to go in the cooler into my little camping food bin. I have my camping meal planner here. You can download this in the description below with my camp cooking starter kit. But I have everything that I'm gonna cook and make all listed out, and I'm just gonna check it off as I set it aside to be put in the bin. The last little bit of prep that I'm going to do is for tonight's dinner. Now, I, for some reason, have had a craving for Cobb salad. So that is what I'm going to make at camp tonight. And I figured we're gonna have to drive to camp, set everything up, and it would just be nice to have a meal that's pretty much ready to go. Also, it is so hot out, and so I thought a meal that wasn't hot would be really nice. So what I've done is I've cooked bacon this morning, I boiled the eggs, so I have the hard-boiled eggs, and I got a rotisserie chicken that I'm just going to cut up now so that when we get to camp, really all I have to do is assemble the salad. I think it's gonna be really good. And then this is a lot of chicken because this is a whole chicken. So I'm going to take some that I need for dinner tonight, and then the rest I'm going to just make a chicken salad. So I have some celery, dill, and I had parsley in the fridge, so I'm gonna throw that in there. And I'll make a chicken salad that I can have for lunch tomorrow. So kind of get 2 meals out of this and a lot of prep done at home. So at camp, I'm just gonna relax, I'm gonna enjoy these meals, and it's gonna be really easy. My lettuce is cleaned and chopped, ready to go for later. I set aside some of the chicken for the salad tonight. So I'm gonna throw this in the fridge. Celery, I love a little crunch. And then got dill and some parsley, just because I had that in the fridge. I'm gonna put some cranberries, a little mustard, ooh. And then some mayo. Pepper. All right. that is going to be it for the chicken salad. Last thing we really need to do before we hit the road is just pack the cooler and then finish packing the car. So I'm gonna get everything that needs to go in the cooler out, usually get it all out, and then I check it off as I put it in the cooler so that I don't forget anything. But yeah, that's it for prep.
Stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever. We can make it together. What goes up must come down. There's lots of friendly faces all around, and nothing's ever lifting me high.
What are we doing?
Oh, so we are at the campground and we're just taking a loop, seeing which sites are available, and then gonna decide which one we want. But I've actually camped at this site a few years ago, and there's an osprey nest right over there, and it is so much bigger than I remember, and I can see a bird in it right now, but it's pretty cool. It's already just so quiet and peaceful and relaxing here compared to the city.
Thunder.
Yeah, I know. Look at this. The weather did not sound that bad. But that doesn't look that good. We got to the campsite and yeah, thunderstorm has rolled through, so we're just waiting it out in the car. We have not had a chance to set up the tent. I think it's gonna pass though. I mean, it's brighter skies over there, but I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to talk to you about my knitting progression. Now, if you remember back in January or February it was, I told you that I started knitting this year with the goal of knitting a wool sweater, and I am going for it now. I knit a couple hats, did a little bit of color work, and I said, I'm going for it. I'm gonna just make the sweater I wanna make. And look at this. Almost done with my first sleeve. I have long arms, and so this is so cool because I can just knit the exact length that I want for a sleeve. And I'm just so excited about this yarn. This is, okay, I'm probably gonna say this wrong, but Alafoslapi. And this is Icelandic yarn. So it is wool, 100% wool. It's kind of rough. And it's going to be such a great sweater for the outdoors because wool is incredible. And so I'm very excited for this. And that's the update. Gonna probably knit right now while it's raining. Thunder's coming. Ah. It's stopping. It's brighter. Look at that brightness. finally here and settled in, finally pitched the tent after it stopped raining, and now it is time for dinner, which today has actually felt like a pretty long day, so I am very happy to have a simple, delicious dinner that's, I think, yeah, it's gonna be really good. So I got my lettuce and I'm gonna assemble everything in the bowl. Just gotta chop a few things like the tomatoes, the chives, and avocado. And then I also normally make my own salad dressing at home, but I found this one and I thought it sounded really good. It's just an apple cider vinaigrette and it's made with olive oil. So I'm gonna try that one tonight to keep it simple. Bacon strips. Ooh. And this is done. It looks really good. It just doesn't get any easier than that. So I'm gonna mix all this up and then we're gonna dive in. Exped Mega Mat. I'm coming in. The dress is not the ideal attire for camping.
You hit me with the buckle.
This is what a day of packing, driving, and filming does to Nick. For breakfast, I have another good meal that is nice for when it's hot out, and it is muesli. I made this when I was backpacking with powdered milk, and I've just been obsessed with it ever since. So I'm gonna do this today with milk in here and let that soak for like at least 20 minutes or so. And then I also have some cut up strawberries and some blueberries to add to it. So it's another nice meal that's not hot. So when it's hot outside, you don't have to eat something that's super hot. And now I'm just going to carefully place this like in the top of my cooler so that the milk doesn't get hot, and let this soak for a little while. Okay, that worked out really well. didn't spill everywhere. I would say maybe cover them before you put them back in the cooler just so they don't spill, but yeah, it looks really good. It's been roughly half an hour. So I'm gonna top with some fruit and then we're gonna eat. Strawberries. Super easy. It's just so chewy and delicious. Chicken salad looks so good, and I love that we don't even have to do anything. The moment we've all been waiting for, it's time for the cookies, and I just realized that I forgot the briquettes. So yes, the girl that's all about planning and prep, I am humbled to admit that I have forgotten something. Normally, briquettes and a Dutch oven are just in my car at all times, even when I'm just driving around the city, but I took out the briquettes for something and I forgot to put them back. So anyway, I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to experiment a little. We have a bunch of firewood and I'm going to get a good fire going and then use some of the coals to bake my cookies in my Dutch oven here. Normally, I would not recommend that you do this because briquettes are just, you can get a reliable temperature, they're very easy to use, and they give you a nice even heat as opposed to a fire where you're just kind of like winging it. So I have my cookies baking in my Dutch oven with the coals. I'm just winging it. I have no idea what the temperature is in there and just going based off looks and time. I've pulled the coals off of here and they look done. So take a look at this. Nick said, and I quote, "That looks pretty good for winging it." I have to agree, it smells really good. So I'm gonna let these cool for a little while just so I can cut them and we'll give it a try. Here we go. They're still a little bit warm, but I can't wait anymore. That looks so good. Incredible, chocolatey, crispy. Goodness, let's see. That is incredible. We are all wrapped up from dinner and cleaned everything up, and now we're just gonna hang out in the tent and relax and then go to sleep because I'm pretty tired. And it's 9 o'clock, so I made it to 9 o'clock, which is pretty good for camping. we are packing everything up, headed out. It was a good trip. The weather was a little bit unpredictable. It rained quite a bit last night, so we're trying to dry the fly out before we pack it up. But yeah, it was a good trip, very relaxing. I just read a ton and sat around, and it was really nice. But now I gotta get back to the city, get back to work, and I'll see you in the next trip.